Ohayou gozaimasu. How are you all doing today? So today I thought about trying a different angle since I've only have like, 2 or 3 different angles at my house, and then yeah. But anyway, so I guess the topic of today is obviously in the job title. I should think of more creative job titles, but yeah, I got recognized in public, I guess ish. So to classify what that means exactly, it's so some of my coworkers know that I do YouTube, some of my friends and family know, but not everybody, right? Getting recognized in public more or less translates to not telling people about my, I guess, YouTube career or YouTube life, and them finding me out through YouTube, I guess. But in both cases, well, the first case it was through a kid's channel, and this happened about half a year ago. They came into my work, and what was it? When they came closer to me, they got closer to me. I was able to kind of guess who it was, because when it comes to military members, they have usually their uniform, their name on their uniform. So I recognized the name, and I was like, oh, this might be that person. And when they came up closer, I was able to kind of confirm that, because they were like, oh, aren't you from Chris from Kid and Matt's videos? And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's me. And I imagine from that point on, it made me feel like I was famous, I guess, or something, or like all of a sudden I had reached stardom because somebody knows me from a entirely different platform. That I was like, I don't know, it's weird, but I was like, makes me wonder if this is what famous people think about as they grow more famous. I don't know, I'm sure I'm not making any sense, but it made me feel awkward. I was like, hopefully I'm not as awkward in real life as I am in my videos, because at work I try to keep a very professional air about myself. So, and then now that they brought that up to me, it's like, oh no, now they know all this about me, or they know about how weird of a person I am. And I remember even like before I had ended my interaction with them, after I saw them the second time, I was like, oh, hopefully I didn't make things awkward, but I'm sure, because I kept saying that, it did in a way. The second time with today is actually somebody who works nearby where I work, and they're a worker of that place. And when they saw me enter, they quickly scampered over to me, and they're like, oh, I think I saw you on YouTube. And I was like, oh, did you? Because I just wanted to kind of find out where she saw me from. So she described it. She's like, oh, I saw you on the Sakura Bridge in Nago. You were with Muteki Matt. And I was like, oh, yep, that's me. And what was it? She wasn't sure if it was me at first, because I was wearing a mask, and I didn't really talk that loudly in the video. But she didn't. But then when I took off my mask in one of the scenes, and she heard my voice, she was like, oh, that's Chris, that's gotta be Chris. And once she brought that up, she brought it up in front of everybody else that works there, and they're like, oh, now y'all gotta watch your videos. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And this, keep in mind, this is somebody who is an acquaintance. Like, the last person was somebody I'd never met before in life. I just potentially knew who it was, but in this case, I had, they're like an acquaintance, so I see them every now and then occasionally. But it was still equally as like awkward, because again, it's like at work I try to be very professional, and then in my work life I kind of just do whatever I want, because it's like that work-life balance thing that I referenced in that video. But now that they know me on a personal level, it's like they know how crazy or how rambunctious or how boring I am, I guess, whatever kind of opinion they might have of me. But now they know that side of me. Which I guess is, I don't know, it's like, it's not that I'm ashamed to do YouTube or anything, or have this put myself out there on social media more than most people just do on Facebook. But I just, well, it's funny also to me that people were able to find me through like a small Okinawa community, because I feel like a lot of people who subscribe to Kid and Matt, and by extension me through their channels, are people who don't live in Okinawa anymore and want to find out about it. But in both of these cases, they currently live here, and they're able to find me through them. But I digress. I don't know, I'm not ashamed of doing this at all. It's one of those weird barriers that happens when you first get found out through somewhere other than like through a friend or somewhere else. It's like almost like you get found out through your fame or kind of thing. It's like, I don't know. It just makes me wonder if this is how famous people feel like whenever somebody approaches them, and they don't know, the famous person doesn't know anything about that person, but then they know everything about the famous person because they're all over YouTube or whatever. And it kind of feels like a bit like that, where it is awkward at first. And I can understand how when people who are famous can kind of get tired of that or want to just go around incognito. And honestly, to some extent, it's like I do want to do that. One of the purposes or one of the reasons I want to do YouTube is to kind of get out of that uncomfortable barrier. But I imagine that, you know, some of the stuff that I said in both cases would make it just a little bit more awkward than it was, because, you know, they were just asking a genuine question just to confirm some suspicions of mine. But then I was like, oh my God, am I like, you know, acted all embarrassed or whatever. But yeah, I think I'm just going on a rant now. But I don't know if you guys can understand what that is, but it's like, you know, that slow road to fame. It's like I kind of got to get myself used to it, because this, you know, as I grow bigger, hopefully, and do more of these, it might happen more often. And, you know, it's just kind of start embracing it and, you know, use it to my advantage. Because again, I do want to do great things with this YouTube channel. I want to be able to like bridge gaps between, like, well, I don't know if I ever talked about this, but I want to like bridge gaps between Okinawan American cultures or foreign cultures, at least in as far in Okinawa and Japanese American culture, like just like, you know, bring everybody together. That's one of the real things I want to do, and kind of have like that more of an understanding kind of thing. And perhaps with me, you know, I'm not just making a fool of myself on YouTube, but actually kind of having some videos with some purpose. And it's like, now that I'm starting to get recognized through YouTube, even if it's not my channel, it's like I can perhaps be that voice, especially now that I'm being watched through people who eventually find me through other ways other than just meeting them. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, it's just something that I thought about for today. And I realized I acted a bit strange. I wonder what they think. I wonder if they did watch my videos. But yeah, it's, I don't know, still kind of soaking it in, because I just think it's so funny, because when I told Kit and Matt, they were like, oh, that's awesome. But I was like, but it's so weird though, because Kit actually did post about it on her video about a year ago with Got Recognized Mother, but her reaction was totally different, because when the person came up to you, I was like, I know you from your videos. Kit was like, videos? And I was like, you do YouTube videos every day, how do you not know which videos you're talking about? So, but for me, it's like, I'm well aware, but it's the odd, especially odd thing about it is it's not even through my videos, it's through theirs, and then now they're able to find me because I started doing YouTube now. But yeah, anyway, but yeah, that's just kind of my ramblings for today, just because that kind of thing happened and I thought it was noteworthy. But yeah, thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. ありがとうございました。また明日。